Lola didn't understand everything that was happening, but she could feel the cold change in the air. It was a suffocating shift, like the harmattan winds sweeping through the palace, chilling everything they touched. The robust laughter that once spilled from the dining hall and filled their evenings was now completely gone, replaced by guarded silence and the low, tense murmur of arguments that happened only behind the heavy, carved mahogany doors of the main chamber. This tension was a constant, unwelcome guest. She would often wake up abruptly in the deepest hours of the night to the sound of her mother's muffled sobs, quickly stifled by a pillow, and her father's sharp, angry voice echoing distantly through the long, lonely hallway. The once lively royal home began to lose its joy and luster. The vibrant colors seemed duller, the intricate patterns on the walls seemed to fade, and the music stopped playing. Lola's mother, once the light of the household, became terribly withdrawn, a ghost in her own home. She spent endless silent hours sitting on the deep, cool veranda, her gaze fixed on the distance, lost entirely in a fog of worry and profound thought. She rarely spoke, and her movements were slow and heavy. Sometimes Lola, driven by a desperate, childish hope, would walk up to her mother and simply hold her hand, a small, warm anchor against the chill. She hoped this simple gesture would somehow work magic and bring back her mother's radiant smile. But that smile rarely, if ever, came. The day the new wife, beautiful and regal, finally arrived, was a day the palace changed completely and irrevocably. The air crackled with a new, unwelcome energy. Servants, loyal to the old order, clustered in hushed groups in the corners, their eyes wide with fear and pity. Immediately, her father, Chief Aidwale, delivered a command that crushed Lola's small heart. Her mother was to move immediately to a smaller, less prominent section of the extensive house, far away from the grandeur of the main chambers and the daily life of the chief. This was a visible, humiliating relegation. Lola felt a deep, wrenching tear between her love for her father and her profound sadness for her mother. She loved her father, the strong, respected chief, but she could not reconcile that man with the one who was inflicting such open, visible hurt on her mother. The confusion was overwhelming, a knot in her stomach that never loosened. She watched her mother comply with silent dignity, packing her belongings with a heartbreaking calmness. As the confusing, difficult days stretched into long, desolate months, Lola learned the necessary art of hiding her own deep-seated emotions. She became the quiet strength for her younger siblings. She helped them meticulously with their chores. She manufactured games and laughter, and she pretended with fierce determination that everything in their fractured world was still perfectly normal and stable. She sacrificed her own childhood comfort for the sake of theirs. But deep inside, where no one could see, a powerful conviction was solidifying. She made a silent, burning promise to herself, a vow to her future. One day, she would grow up to be impossibly strong, fiercely independent, and utterly self-sufficient. She swore she would never, ever allow anyone to wield such power over her, and she would never let herself or anyone she loved feel as helpless and stripped of dignity as her mother had been. This silent resolve was her strength, her shield, and her future.